All right, so we're going to be doing a presentation on my solution for 2.1 bisection, problem number 3. Let's get into it. So we had our questions, which was find the midpoint, find the root between the interval 5, 6 with tolerance 0.7. Very quickly, we want to calculate f5 and f6 to figure out if the root does lie between 5 and 6. And then we calculate the midpoint using the midpoint formula. And then using the midpoint we plug that back into our formula, do some math, and see. All right, 0.25 is greater than 0. So the root is going to be between 5 and 5.5. So what we do, calculate our midpoint again using the midpoint formula, for this time, x and the midpoint that we had previously calculated. 5 plus 5.5 divided by 2, we get 5.25. This will be our new midpoint. We go ahead and plug this midpoint back into our formula, do some basic math, and then we see that we get a number that is less than 0, which means that our root is going to lie between 5.25 and 5.5. We continue these steps until we get a difference between the roots that is less than the tolerance. So continuing onwards, we calculate the root, we calculate the midpoint between 5.5 and 5.25. So m1 plus m2, it's 10.75 divided by 2. We go ahead and plug that midpoint number 3, back into our formula, and we get a number that's still smaller than 0. But we also get that the difference between this interval is less than our tolerance 0.17. So the difference here is 1.25, and our tolerance is 0.17. 1.25 is less than 0.17. So we stop, and we have found our root, given the tolerance and their interval. And since we calculated m1, m2, and m3, there was a total of n equals 3 steps. This is how we solve the problem. And that concludes this presentation.